All right, let's talk about the City of Pompano Beach ballot amendments. I was asked to take a look at this, so I wanted to just take a look and see what's going on in the City of Pompano Beach. All right, so as proposed amendment number one reads, removing eminent domain from the charter as a requirement for property transfers to governmental entities. Shall the power of eminent domain requirement be removed from the section 253H of the Pompano Beach City Charter? Now, this seems like a procedural thing in the sense of eminent domain has been outlawed. I don't say outlawed, but removed from just about everything, state-wise, federal-wise. So this seems like it's just a procedural change because eminent domain really means that the government can step in and just take your shit. So I think this is just a good one for everybody to vote yes on. Before I read them, amendment number two and amendment number three seem like a long game play for the city of Pompano Beach. So this is one of those things where the city of Pompano Beach may or may not. I don't know. I'm not going to say this is just my pure speculation. They may or may not be in talks or have talks or may have had the opportunity to be in talks with some type of big organization like a sports team or some type of venue, and the language in the city charter prevented them from being able to execute with that big name sports team or that entity or that venue or whatever it is. But amendment number two and amendment number three seems to be like one of those situations to where they're trying to amend the city charter to be able to make some move, possibly benefit the city. I don't know. But let me get to it. Proposed amendment number two. Approving contracts by resolution and for terms longer than 5 years with City Commission approval. Shall the contract provisions of the Pompano Beach City Charter, Section 251C, be amended to allow contracts to be approved by resolution consistent with state law, and shall the term of such contracts be permitted to exceed 5 years if approved by the City Commission? Seems pretty straightforward. They want to be able to give contracts to do business with the city for longer than 5 years. Currently, the limit on contracts with the city is 5 years. So they want to be able to do business with entities long term, longer than 5 years. Proposed amendment number three, approving leases by resolution and for terms longer than 50 years with City Commission approval. Shall the lease provisions of the Pompano Beach City Charter, Section 250A and B, be amended to approve leases of city owned property by resolution consistent with state law, with two public hearings for approval, and shall the term of such leases be allowed to exceed 50 years if approved by the City Commission. So currently, leases for city-owned lands and property can only go up to 50 years. This is a situation to where the city could possibly benefit long term from locking in a long term lease agreement with a lease holder. Now, the only way that the city may lose would be if the property has a drastic change in property value, devaluing or increasing the value of the surrounding property and therefore the property of the leased property. Whatever the terms of that lease is, they will be honored no matter what the value of that property surrounding it is. So if there's an increase in property or a decrease in property, the city wouldn't be able to adjust those terms because that lease agreement would be already locked in. Now that's the good and the bad of that. But like I said before, amendment number two and amendment number three seems to be something to where the city's trying to lock in long-term contracts with something, somebody, some entity. On the surface of my head, I don't think that this is nefarious in any way. And here's my logic behind that. I don't foresee nefarious entities trying to lock in 100-year leases and having the means to approach the city to lock in 100-year leases. Could a sports team lock in a 100-year lease? Could a concert venue lock in a 100-year lease? Could a super yacht marina lock in a 100-year lease? I think only those entities that are legit and with means to improve the city of Pompano Beach would be able to capitalize on these provisions being lifted from the city charter. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. There's a lot of people got a lot of money in the world. I don't know. I don't know. But on the surface, I'll go on record and say I don't really think Amendment 2 and Amendment 3 of the Pompano Beach City Charter are horrible things to consider. But full disclosure, I do not reside in the city of Pompano Beach, so please do not take my recommendations of voting yes or voting no on these amendments because I don't have to live with the overall impacts of these amendments one way or the other. So I just want to put that out there, and I don't want anyone to think that I'm putting it out there, for one way or another. This is just my honest assessment. You ever have that itch in the top of your head and you just be scratching it and then you just keep scratching it and then you just keep scratching it and then you just keep scratching it? Yep.